General Sir Walter Pipon Braithwaite, GCB, was a British Army officer who held senior commands during the First World War. After being dismissed from his position as Chief of Staff for the Mediterranean Expeditionary Force, he received some acclaim as a competent divisional commander on the Western Front. After the war, he was commissioned to produce a report analysing the performance of British staff officers during the conflict. Early life. Braithwaite was born in Ulm, the son of the Reverend William Braithwaite and Laura Elizabeth Pipon. He was the youngest of 12 children. He was educated at Victoria College between 1875 and 1880, and at Bedford School between 1880 and 1884. Military career. Braithwaite studied at the Royal Military Academy, and was commissioned as a lieutenant in the Somerset Light Infantry in 1886. In 1895, he married Jessie Ashworth, with whom he had a son, Valentine. He served in the Second Boer War, seeing action at Ladysmith, Spion-Kop, Valkrantz and Geller Heights. He was mentioned in dispatches 3 times. After the war, he returned to England and was posted to Southern Command on the staff of Evelyn Wood. In 1906, Braithwaite was promoted to Major, and transferred to the Loyal North Lancashire Regiment. He was later promoted to Lieutenant Colonel, and served as an instructor at the Staff College, Camberley. In 1909, he was assigned to the staff of Douglas Haig at the War Office, and promoted to Colonel. He was subsequently named Commandant of the Staff College, Quetta, a position he still held at the outbreak of the First World War. At this point, the college was closed, and he was again transferred to the War Office, this time as Director of Staff Duties. First World War. In 1915, he was appointed Chief of Staff for the Mediterranean Expedition, commanded by Ian Hamilton. He was regarded by many of the Australians involved in that effort as arrogant and incompetent. After the failure of the Mediterranean Expedition, Braithwaite was recalled to London. He was later assigned to the 62nd Division, which was posted to France in January 1917. Here he experienced considerable success. Although the division struggled to make headway during the Battle of Arras, it proved a solid and reliable unit during the German Spring Offensive the following year. Following success in repelling German advances at Bullecourt and Cambrai, he was given command of 9th Corps on 13 September 1918 and, later 12th Corps. On 29 September 1918, Braithwaite's 9th Corps was on the southern front line at the village of Belenglis facing the canal, when the order came from Haig to attack through the Hindenburg Line. The assault was much more successful than earlier American efforts, encountering as they did multiple gas attacks. The spearhead was led by 46th Brigade. As Major H.J.C. Marshall, a divisional staff officer, recorded they were not expected to advance far, leaving that to the Americans and Australians to the left. If they could not get a foothold, they had orders to swim across the canal in ice-cold water, but Divisional HQ had spared no effort to find all necessary equipment to achieve the objective. They advanced 1 hour later than the Americans under hail of machine gun bullets and cyclone of shells. A thick fog came down, helping to mask them from German sight. Pushing on through the dawn's early light were a battalion of North Staffords overran the German machine gun positions. The bridge's defenders were shot and killed, as the infantry fixed bayonets and charged. 5,000 German prisoners were taken. For almost the first time in the war, the attack had been an outstanding success. Braithwaite received plaudits from Monash and Rawlinson. 46th Division recovered over 1,000 machine guns. Weeks later, George V visited Belenglis, the site where the Hindenburg Line was breached by a territorial unit. Braithwaite was devastated by his son's death on 1 July 1916 on the Somme. Having no heir, he burnt all his family papers. As successes emerged in late 1918, Haig was effusive in praise of his officers and men's achievement, showing the friendship and esteem for which he was held by General Braithwaite all his life. Post-war. After the war, Braithwaite was commissioned by Haig to produce a report evaluating the performance of British staff officers in all theatres of the conflict. Although the decision-making abilities of many staff officers had been seriously questioned during the war, Braithwaite's report was generally favourable. He became General Officer Commanding-in-Chief Western Command, India in 1920, General Officer Commanding-in-Chief at Scottish Command in 1923, and then General Officer Commanding-in-Chief at Eastern Command in 1926 before being appointed Adjutant General to the forces in 1927. In 1928 he was in charge of arranging Douglas Haig's funeral. He retired in 1931. He served as a Commissioner of the Commonwealth War Graves Commission from 1927 to 1931, as Governor of the Royal Hospital Chelsea from 1931 to 1938, and as King of Arms of the Order of the Bath from 1933 until his death. He died at his home in Rotherwick on 7 September 1945.